And welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive, and thank you so much for being here. So I am here to do a read, and this will be for you for the month of April 2019, the full month of April. This will be a general read. We're going to see what wants to bubble up to the surface for you, and again, this is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. So my friends, take what resonates, and what doesn't, save it for another Virgo or another cross watcher, whatever the case may be. But I hope that there is something here for you, okay? So if you'd like a personal read, then just be sure that you go to theguidedintuitive.com, and then we'll go ahead and get you hooked up over there, okay? Now, do keep in mind also that energies do transcend. So what I might be talking about now might be someone's past, present, or even future, all right? So just make note of that. If you're not sure, what your other signs are outside of the sun sign here, then I have a link in my description box below. Just go ahead and click it, and it'll allow you to plug in all of your data, and then your birth chart will pop out, and then it'll explain that it'll show you the other signs in your birth chart, and you can check out those other videos and see how they resonate with you. Okay, all right, so there you have it. Now do check out our store, of course, and if you're interested in a Facebook group, ours is closed, but if you want to be a part of that, then go to the Guided Intuitive on our Facebook page and click the button visit group, and that will get you going through the process. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead, Virgo, and get started and see what's in store for you. Okay, I am using the exquisite cards from Rumi. I don't know if some of you don't know who Rumi is, a 13th century Persian poet who is a Sufi mystic and a spiritual leader, but also what I love about his work is that it transcends any ethnicity, if I can even say that word, but also geographic barriers as well. And so I love it. It just makes the world one, and I just really love his teachings. So there you have it. So let's get started. So let's see what's coming out for you out of the gates on the first card here. Okay. Wow. Okay, you might have to check out Capricorn's video because they got this card as well. This is entering the garden of delights. Okay, so I'll have you take a look at this. All right, so, oh, this is beautiful. Now, this is a 28 card. Now, the beauty about the 28 card is that if you reduce it, then obviously that comes into a 10, and which reduces, of course, also to a 1, which is a new beginning. Okay, very, very beautiful. So what does this talk to me about? So when I'm looking at this is saying is that you have been you're gaining entry into this beautiful sacred space, this sanctuary that you're able to really focus on you within and getting well acquainted with love. Quite frankly, okay, life becomes a temple of love, and it's just like this sacred space where your soul can grow to be very powerful and expand, and you're being invited, by the divine. Okay, and by your spiritual brother Rumi here, right? To really enter into the life and really commit to coming alive. As you enter into a garden like that, everything is alive. There's beautiful trees, there's oxygen, there's beautiful life here, and it's almost as if you're stepping into your own soul garden, right? You are sometimes that you may be locked in the illusion of security, of security for some time, and maybe that maybe over the preference to what is unknown, right? You prefer that security versus what is the unknown. So you prefer the familiar and the comfortable compared to that which is uncomfortable and unfamiliar. But this is saying to really tussle a little bit with the other parts of the world that you deny yourself from, because that is denying yourself, Virgo, of the aliveness and the life and the breath of this garden when you step right on into it, and how that energy feeds your soul. Now, even though it might seem risky, maybe perhaps a potential for heartache, this is saying what could be more heart-wrenching than the slow death of a precious human soul suffocated by fear? So this is saying don't cower to your fear in any way, shape, or form. That is ego-based thinking of the modern society. And what this is saying for you is not to be suffocated by fear and that inertia in fear. That is the greatest gift of all. That is the greatest risk of all, is what I want to say. The greatest gift of all is for you to enter into this sacred garden of love, because by doing so, you will feel like you're being born into a new world of wonders. And that's why this is saying garden of delights, okay? So this is like a full spiritual birth. That is standing at the threshold for you right now, and you're being asked to cross that threshold into this garden of delight, right? To welcome your aliveness that's been flickering and growing inside you, but yet maybe it has not been experienced because of the fear has held you back in some way, shape, or form to this luscious greenery, to this garden of beautiful life here. Okay, so this is saying that that you are now focusing on the wisdom of your heart. And this is saying that really it wants you to be fully born into this world of wonders here. So there you have it. So that's what's being happening right now. So you've been through probably much, things that are around you and within you. And you've known the dark angel, let's say, so to speak. There's no doubt about that. And what is this saying? And that's why you're so full of life. Your attempts to really stay as you have been, to render something in your life, to focus on where you are right now rather than not change has now failed. So this is talking about it's time to celebrate. And and there's no delight in the moments long that have passed. And so don't use that as your food fuel, okay? It's not going to nourish you anywhere as deeply as walking into this brand new light in the unfamiliar. And it's saying to come taste all that life has to offer, and enjoy the richness of this meal in such gratitude, okay? And don't hold yourself in the memory of death to starve you. Okay, so that's what this is saying, okay? There's a garden here now. There's no more phantoms. There is a garden here for you now. And this is here to be touched. It's here to be tasted, to be seen, heard, felt, even inhaled. But most importantly, this is here for you to be loved, okay? So a new day is dawning. And anything that it has held over you is now going to be released, and celebration is now on the horizon. So it wants you to focus on the golden light and to move forward. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the next card, see what wants to come out. Wow. Gosh, this card came out for a couple other reads, guys. So do be sure to check out your moon rising and your Venus signs, because this is the lover and the beloved. So some of you might have someone. This is an 8. It's the affinity symbol. So it's almost as if you're using the beloved, the divine, and then the lover. And it's almost like you might find a suitable counterpart that has both those qualities in that of which you're looking for, because there is a culmination of coming together here of the lover and the beloved. Okay, so take a look at that. Beautiful. So like I said, the 35 card does reduce into an 8, okay? And very, very beautiful. So what is this talking about here? So to me, it says you've got this, there is like the beloved, like the divine has got has got something for you, okay? A passionate desire for you. And the divine is loving you. And it's making its divine presence known to you. So first we're going to speak to that, because it can also have another meaning of you and someone else coming together. So either one, note your comments below, okay? But this is saying is that a lot of times we might resist love in our lifetime. It may be because we've been burned before, right? Perhaps we were really painfully disappointed in some way, shape, or form, or maybe felt abandoned or betrayed. But what this card is saying is that that you definitely have had some tough times in the past, but not let these type of bitter experiences, but yet probably things you've learned from them, hold you back or keep your heart closed. It does not want you to do that. You are worthy of love, and by closing your heart, it is unworthy of you. Okay? So this wants you to receive the sacred touch of love, whether it's through words of love, and that is coming through for you, through the divine, or through this special connection that is coming through. Okay, so take delight and allow yourself to receive life, to love, to let the world soak up the ardent glow of your sensual surrender to the lover's, the love's embrace. Okay, now that could again be with the divine or with a particular person that is, that might have a spiritual type of element to who they are, as well as being, some sort of a passionate lover. So this is just saying to tend to the walls that you place between yourself and love, yourself and life, and like your the walls that keeps you, in your own lovableness. All right. And to let that go, because you're greater than that, and it wants you to take those walls and to let them crumble. And you can see the walls that are, aside from both of them, are crumbling down. Okay, so there you have it. So that's what this is talking about. Now you might have someone in particular, like I said, who's might be spiritual in nature as well. The next card that you get is One. It's called One, though it is a 6 card, and 6 talks about growth. Okay, so 6s are about growth, which is beautiful. Okay, so One, and what this is saying is it's quite interesting. It's almost as if that this is, how do I want to say? Well, it's a 6 card. I always want to think that it's a 1 card, but this is saying is that really focus on becoming one with yourself. Okay, this is it's almost as if the divine love is kind of the love is in you and it's not separated. Okay, it is saying that not to fear, don't hold back. Don't hold back that which feels incomplete. Maybe because you are maybe perhaps in anxiety or stress in some way, shape, or form. You're recognizing almost as if that it's like a part of you struggling to surrender the conflict between the old and the new. And there's this barrier, there's this, it wants to come out, for you. And, it's saying that you don't have to choose either one. Sometimes the sacrifice is not one or the other, but just the idea that it can only be one or the other. Does that make sense, guys? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's almost as if that, it's, we don't have to choose this role or this identity and believe it's the answer. Sometimes it's not, there's no answer. It's not one or the other. And it's at another level, of divine, resolution that's beyond, polarities, that we've just, good, bad, dark, light, whatever. So this is just open your heart and find the bridge of understanding and trust that there is perfection there, where it's always been and always will be. So you don't have to worry that everything is happening exactly as it should. So, perhaps that you're worried about something in particular, and you're looking for guidance. And this is saying that there's resolution and a perfect of coming together of elements in your life. And that might have been maybe in conflict before. Okay. Something that you've been trying to integrate is very nearly ready to click into place. So, it's going to click into place and become one, right? So that's what this is actually talking about. So it's quite interesting. Wow. It's almost as if you get this new perception. It's almost like the eyes, almost like of a being, so to speak, and this sweetness is going to be found in not one way or the other. That I think that you're being able to see through and know that the divine is trying to fill your cup up, in some way, shape, or form, and it's just it's very sweet. It's almost as if there's honey, and it's the divine is offering the light and the honey through this process. Okay, and I think it's so interesting. Becoming one. You are becoming one. There is a coming together in some way, shape, or form of something that is coming together. It's almost as if something that you're holding back in love in some way, shape, or form, or holding back because you're still fearful and haven't entered into the garden of delights here, this is saying is that your soul is going through that to become one, to integrate as one. Okay, and perhaps looking at something through a different lens, and look at it through the spiritual lens as well. Okay, so it's just about really not being fearful, and it's just becoming one with yourself, and so you can integrate an old way and a new way, and to move forward, but don't freeze and just think of the old way, and don't let that hold you back. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking that's coming through, which was quite interesting. Now the next card that we get is the all-encompassing hand. I've never seen this card before. This is a 20 card, broken down. It comes into a 2. It could be 2 people. It could be, obviously a gateway of something coming through, 2 pillars and a new, an integration into the one here as well. But this is interesting. So what this is telling me is that this is about it's like the hand of the divine is offering you assistance in this process, to help you move through from the past into this future. Okay, and it's questioning who you are, becoming one with who you are, from your heart, center, and it may be again a situation in life that you may feel that's unable to be solved. What keeps coming up is there's a situation that's unable to be solved. And this is bringing you reassurance that there's nothing beyond your reach of the divine in the hand of grace, hence the all-encompassing hand. Okay? So it is shining some light on you. And it's saying that ask for help each day, saying, I ask for help this day in all ways through unconditional love. Thank you. Just really do that. And it can be even more specific, and you're asking for your help. Maybe it's a relationship, and and that type of thing, or a project. But the divine wants to lend a hand to you, and it's reaching out to offer you this guidance of light and this grace to bless your life in all circumstances, whether it's relationships or situationships. Okay, that may have been or have yet to be for you. All right, whether it's this one here, healing the old and then welcoming the new coming in. Okay, so know that the grace of your love that is now trying to register with you now, and you will never again forget it. Okay, there is nothing beyond your reach that the divine hand of grace can't handle with you. All can be solved and all can be resolved. Okay, because there's always a higher, and there is a better and a more beautiful outcome that is possible. Okay, so love guides us through different situations that sometimes seem improbable, perhaps sometimes impossible, but it doesn't shy away from any challenge, or from any cause. So that's just love's way. Love says that there's always another way, and you're receiving this guidance now. So maybe you're kind of scratching your head and thinking, you feel like you've kind of come to a dead end and you don't know what to do. So then, do you believe in love or the death of all sorts, in your heart? So this is saying to choose your heart. And it's saying is that if you need to give up something and put something to death, then you need to, it's a certain way of thinking, a past situation. This is saying to put it to its rest, so you can open up into the portal of a new life. Okay, and that's what a new way of thinking. Okay. So that's what the card wants to let you know. So this is about divine timing too, of your dreams coming to life. It's like your time is approaching and you're given this hand, and it may even be now, and it may even seem less likely to you at this time that there may be there may be darkness and confusion, yet there is an unveiling of a new dawn that is closest to the deepest, darkest of night. So don't turn back or away from your progress. So Virgo, you're on the next steps. They're going to be coming through for you, and there's going to be golden rays of sunshine that is going to kind of help you through this process. You may feel as that you've maybe been wandering in a desert for a lot of years and kind of through this oasis, right? And, with nothing, with nothing in sight, and you've been through the darkness and all the trials and the tribulations and the uncertainty. And now the divine wants to help you out. And this is saying, seek no more. The answers are going to be given or very well soon be. And then the life and the passion and the purpose, and all will come to you in clarity. Okay, so that's what it wants to do. It's like the grace of destiny is being bestowed upon you by this all-encompassing hand. It wants to give you a hand and help you out. Okay, all right. And then the next card that we get is Whirling Goddess. Wow. Gosh, I've never seen this card here. This is beautiful. So this is a 30 card, and the whirling could come from that creativity, because the threes talk about the creativity here. So the Whirling Goddess. So take a look at that. So what this is telling me is that you are at a point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. So, like many of us, or like so many, I should say, we've used a lot of us have used our mind to support ourselves. But this is saying it's up to your sense of self in this world to gain that sense of security about how the world works. And though it's not an easy leap, this is saying is that your mind sometimes argues about what you should do and what you should not do, right? But it says don't place too much stock in just mind thinking is what it's saying. You're being asked to dance rather than understand. It wants you to just move and dance rather than understand. To lay your thoughts to the rest and to really come alive. Just like entering the garden, leave your fears behind, enter this garden of this new world. Leave your fears of love behind and enter this new, this lover and the beloved. Meet the divine, meet that partner. Leave the past behind and integrate yourself into one. And to leave the fears behind and let the divine help you move forward by the divine offering an all-encompassing hand of grace to you. So this is a whirling goddess, and this is about letting go of any stigma around not knowing. Sometimes things aren't always explained to us or understood. When someone asks you what you're going to do next or how you're going to manage, or you're given this divine mandate, that type of thing with relish and the truth, just say, I don't know, know nothing and dance the sweet soul is what it wants you to do. It's a special message. If there's an issue, an unsolvable issue in your life right now, here we go again, a third time. If there's an issue in your life right now, the divine is handling it. The divine is in the middle of working on it and working through the knot and unraveling it. So fear not. Don't do the sacred ritual and give yourself permission to take a night off from worry. Repeat, its heavenly prescription daily as needed. It wants you to dance. It wants you to let go a little bit, okay? And it's like your heart's going to create the steps in response to the music. And it's happening now, and it's spontaneous and it's free. So again, if there is an issue that's unsolvable or that is unknowable in your life right now, the divine is handling it. That's why you've got the hand, the divine reaching out to you. So I think that's what's coming into play, guys. Now let's ask the soul trees on what through this process can really help you. Wow, you're integrating into one. You're getting help from the divine. It's asking you to take a night off and go and do some dancing, and not be so hard on yourself. And that's what's coming into play. How interesting. So let's see what the soul trees have to say about this, okay? What's going to help you in this process? Let's see what that is. Empowerment. How beautiful. Okay, so take a look at that. All right, so what this is talking about, this is about having the confidence and also having the comfort, Virgo, to exert your inner power and embrace the power of your intentions, okay? So what it is that you want to happen, work with the divine on that. The divine's got a sweet hand in this that can help you through this process. And you're feeling empowered probably because you're becoming one and your cup is now being full. And you're seeing through the eyes of the divine, I think, to help you in this process. So that's beautiful. Let's see what else wants to come out for you here for advice. Family, okay, nice. So what this is talking about here is that your family is like your core sense of belonging, right? And this is saying to honor your family at this time. Okay, it's going to help you, even your soul family, okay? So that's what's coming into play. And any other final, let's see, advice through this process that wants to come through? Oh, beautiful. Couldn't ask for more, but we always will. Blessings, okay? So blessings is coming into play. And what this is saying is that find the gifts in every situation or outcome, even the ones that maybe didn't, that didn't make us feel so good in the past. And that's what's coming out for you here. So you can enter the Garden of Delights and have this beautiful opportunity to dance with the divine and, the lover and the beloved in this process. So I hope that this resonated with you in some way, shape, or form, Virgo, and I look forward to seeing you in the month of May. And until then, namaste.